Morning everybody. It's a beautiful day, so it's quite early. I've been to work already, but I thought I would come and let the birds out, seeing as it's so nice. Been a bit of radio silence from me lately because I tested positive for COVID last week and just didn't really feel up to doing any videos with the birds. I mean, I've been letting them out and flying them, but just haven't felt up to it, although I have been making a start on the path that I'm going to do out the front here. But anyway, we'll get them out, let them have a fly. There's hardly any wind at all, so I messed up with doing this during the week because I went in and I left the door open, and so they've all mixed up again, which is really annoying. But we should find that the first bunch out are the best flyers anyway. They have been going quite far, not for too long, but they've definitely been going for a little bit further than they usually do. As far as the race goes, at the weekend I didn't actually go along because I felt a little bit under the weather, like I had a bit of a cold, so I thought I would take the test just in case, because most of the members in my club are, you know, in their pensioners. Charlie's in his 80s and a lot of them are, so I didn't want to go along there with COVID and kill half of them. So I took the test and it said it was positive, so I had to sit out of this weekend's racing, which is a bit of a shame. I don't know if Charlie did all that well, but I know Dave, who we've got a load of his birds, he won the race from Guernsey. I think he won it anyway. I think he won the federation, top of the federation, with a really fast time as well. So let's see where these go. You see the ones that want to fly just come hopping up like, come on, let's go. And they'll join up there. But they don't hang about now, these guys. These want to get gone. And then you've got some more reluctant ones that just aren't really that into it. You can see these are all just looking so much nicer, so much better. Come on, Ryan. You can get out and fly. You're a bit tatty looking, aren't you? You're still molting. And I think they're out of sight now. So that first group have probably gone. They seem to just shoot off now. There, they're on their own, so they'll probably... Oh no, there they are, look. I don't think they'll hang around for long. But anyway, I was saying, I think Dave topped the federation and his time was really good looking at it compared to the next set of guys, and everybody's within 10 miles of each other in the federation. I think pretty much within 10 miles, so to get a time like he did, really quite impressive. But anyway, while he was flying and racing and everybody else was enjoying themselves, I've been making a start on this, so I'm just trying to create a bit of a path. I'm going to put some hardcore over the top of that and some Mott 1 and then a bit of concrete or slabs or something, just so that in the winter when I'm walking along it I don't end up squelching mud and crap everywhere. So that's a bit of a work in progress. This is just rubble that we've had left over from doing the extension. So anyway, onto the birds. I picked up another straggler, but I sent it, I took it up to Retford to release it, and it by the time I got back it was back here again, so that one's still but I didn't let it back in. I fed it and left it outside, and it disappeared overnight. So oh sorry, it disappeared in the evening. It wasn't here when I locked up for darkness. So anyway, you can see the birds that are left. What's really interesting, isn't it, is all the birds that have taken off have had really nice looking feathers, and these guys are all just looking a little bit tatty. Obviously we've got the two fantails or pretty birds, whatever they are. They're not going to be flying, but you can just look. I mean, this one here, he's a little bit older, so he should be flying. And yeah, so we're left with a couple down there. So what we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're left with 9. I am going to clear all this. I've been using this deep litter, this easy bed, and I think it's had its fill now, and it's still all dry. So I figure while it's like this, I'm going to take it. I'm going to give everything a clean down before we start training, and put some new bedding down. I'll probably get on with that this weekend if the weather's meant to be rainy, I think. But anyway, it's going to be a job to do going forward. Yeah, look at these guys. You just don't look great, do you? And you can just see in their neck or tufts of feathers and whatnot coming through. So yeah, they're the droppings. I know for everybody that likes pecan, this is what we've got. So it all looks pretty good to me. There's a little bit of light green there, which incidentally, obviously the birds, some of the birds are flying really well. Just get my coffee. Some of the birds are flying really well, and then we've got those that are molting that don't seem to be flying as well. But there was one in particular that just sort of sat down. It was eating, it was feeding like the rest of them, but it's just tail was down, looking a little bit fluffed up. Didn't seem to be enjoying life much. So I thought I'd separate it just in case, because I know a few people have had problems at the moment with young bird sickness, and I spotted that little bit of light green on one of the perches, the V perches, which I know can sometimes mean young bird sickness or E. coli or whatnot, but the rest of the droppings look fine. So this is the only one that looked a little bit suspicious to me. And so you can see there, that's been in there overnight. Now the droppings look pretty solid. Obviously the paper makes it look like they're wetter than they are. I mean, you tiny little droplet and it's going to spread out. But you see there, there's a little bit of green around there, light green. That looks a little bit slippery, doesn't it? So I'm not sure if that's something to be worried about. If it's the bit of corn that you can see there is just where I've sprinkled some in. So it's got some water and some feed, but not looking fluffed up now. I don't know if you can see. Let's try to get the camera in there. It's not going to work, is it? But so this is what we've got. Let's have a look at you. There we go. So looking okay. Obviously quite heavily molting around her head. I think we've labelled it as a cockbird. A bit skinny, I would say, as well. I can feel it feels a little bit lighter compared to a lot of them. And I'll put you back in. There you go. Yeah, it feels a little bit lighter compared to a lot of them. I can feel a bit of bone, so I thought I'd separate it anyway. But yeah, there is a little bit of light green there, so I'm not really sure whether that is E. coli or young bird sickness. The droppings generally look pretty solid. Like I say, if you look, there's just that bit there that I'm a little bit concerned about. But it could be when I caught it yesterday, it got its foot in the water and spread around a little bit. But yeah, I'm not sure. I don't. To be honest, I'm not really that keen on looking at droppings, but I know that you've got to do it. It's who wants to look at shit, but it's a good indicator of how well and how healthy your birds are if you know what you're looking at. I don't really. I'm just looking at what, listening to what other people have said and what I've read online and in books and stuff. So, but yeah, so that one's one to watch. Where I might give Charlie a ring later and just see if I should be giving it anything, and I'll keep an eye on the others in there. But hopefully, if it is an illness or anything, then I've isolated it, got it separated for now. I might have caught it soon enough, but generally they look pretty healthy, other than the birds that are molting. You know, it's just the stress of doing that, isn't it? But we've only got, what, 6 more days, and then it's off darkness, which I'll do gradually, and then we can hopefully start training them and sending them down the road. So anyway, the birds are nowhere to be seen. Beautiful clear sky, just a few clouds, and yeah, I suspect they've, on a day like today, they've gone for a bit of a trek. But anyway, that's the update. So there's a race this weekend, and I'm going to test myself tonight or tomorrow and see if I'm clear. I mean, I feel a lot better. I just got a bit of a cold, but if I am, then I'll go along to the race, and then hopefully we'll have something to report back. But hopefully again next week we're going to start training, so there'll be a little bit more interesting videos coming as well, rather than just me talking about poo and loft flying. Right, see you.